Egypt blocks European activists in solidarity with Gaza.
Welcome back to PNG Stands with Israel. Today we're diving into a developing story out of Egypt, where authorities have blocked dozens of European and international activists from participating in the global march to Gaza. Their goal? To protest Israel's ongoing blockade of humanitarian aid to Gaza and draw attention to the dire crisis there. Let's break it down.
Over the past week, Egyptian officials detained and deported more than 36 activists, many holding European passports, as they arrived at Cairo International Airport. These activists were part of the Global March to Gaza, a movement involving thousands from over 80 countries aiming to march 30 miles from Arish in the Sinai Peninsula to the Rafah border crossing. Their mission? To create international pressure to open Rafah and allow critical aid, food, fuel, and medical supplies into Gaza, where the United Nations warns famine looms. Cut to images of Gaza's humanitarian crisis. Empty food shelves, crowded aid distribution sites. Israel imposed a total blockade on Gaza in March, severely restricting aid to pressure Hamas. While Egypt has publicly condemned these restrictions, it's now cracking down on activists trying to protest at its border. Why? Egypt says the activists didn't obtain proper authorization to travel through the sensitive Sinai region, but organizers insist they followed protocols and coordinated with authorities. Among those deported was Bilal Nie, a Tunisian activist living in Germany, who said he and others were sent back without clear reasons. Meanwhile, Egyptian police stopped groups en route to Sinai, confiscating passports at checkpoints near Ismailia. Paul Murphy, an Irish Parliament member, posted on X saying, "We've had our passports confiscated and are being detained." Egypt's actions have sparked outrage. Some on X are calling it complicity in Israel's blockade, with one user saying Egypt is securing Israel's starvation of 2 million people. Others argue Egypt is balancing national security and its delicate ties with Israel, a key diplomatic partner. Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz, even labeled the protesters jihadists, urging Egypt to block them. Egypt insists the Rafah crossing on its side remains open, but Israel's control of the Palestinian side has blocked aid since October 2023. Critics say Egypt's crackdown reflects pressure to avoid straining ties with Israel and the U.S., despite public sympathy for Palestinians. Over 186 activists have been charged with threatening state security since the war began, according to the Egyptian Initiative for Personal Rights. The global march to Gaza was meant to be a powerful call for action, but it's been halted before it could even start. What do you think? Should Egypt allow these protests, or are their security concerns valid? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and don't